G Fuel is hosting a buy one, get one free promotion for their energy drink tubs. Check it out at the link below. Let's set the playing field. This is a non-reference NVIDIA GTX 1080, but we'll start with a Founders Edition 1080. It also has a backplate, but doesn't claim that it improves cooling, and there's no shiny copper on it. Just a few weak sauce thermal pads that are probably there mostly to make sure that the backplate isn't detrimental to cooling. I threw it on a test bench and loaded up Furmark, the fuzzy donut of death. I left the card at stock settings, other than cranking the temp target up to 83 degrees, and after letting it burn for about 20 minutes, just to be sure, it was at a stable 79 degrees Celsius. Alright, time to take it back off the bench and remove the backplate. This is a relatively simple process. 4 screws around the GPU, 2 bigger ones near the I/O, and then there's a ton of tiny little incredibly annoying screws everywhere. Be sure to have a magnetic parts tray. If you don't have one, we have this handy guide on how to make one out of a dead hard drive, because these little devils will run away on you. God, they are annoying. Anyways, bench time again. The fuzzy donut is back, and the results? 79 degrees. No change whatsoever. This is starting to feel like the workshop. We even took some shots with our FLIR thermal camera to give you guys a more complete picture of what's going on. But in a nutshell, the Founders Edition card, well, the backplate didn't really help anything. But a Challenger approaches! Aggressive angles, animalistic symbols, refined copper metal, and industrial styling. Same process. Slot it in, lock it in place, screw it in, crank the thermal and power limit to max, overclock the core and memory by 100 megahertz each, apply the fuzzy donut, and wait 20 minutes. Results? 67 degrees, and that's at over 2 gigahertz on the core. This is a pretty wicked card. It's fast, it runs cool. I hit a voltage limit at that overclock, but yeah, I'm liking it so far. But how about that backplate? Well, looking at the FLIR thermal imaging, there is a cold spot right where that backplate sits, but does that translate to a difference in core temperatures? Time to find out. Remove the 3 random screws from the backplate, then the 4 ones around the GPU. Realize that there are more internally. Remove the entire heatsink, unplugging all 4 plugs from the inside and undoing 2 remaining screws. Find another power connector behind the backplate for the glowing Oris logo. Try not to break the connector when removing it, as it's rather fragile. Attach the cooler again, but leave the backplate off, put it back on the bench, and conclusion time. 67 degrees. That's the result. 67 degrees is not lower than 67 degrees. 67 degrees is the same damn thing as 67 degrees. These results are not different. The FLIR footage doesn't show the cold spot anymore, but as there was no improvement, the core is not less hot. The card is not running any faster. Does the backplate look really cool? Yep. Does it cool things? Maybe. Maybe the back of the PCB, but not the GPU or anything else that is going to affect performance. It's hard with the tools that we have to say whether this is to do with poor thermal transfer through the PCB or the thick thermal pad that's on the copper plate. And the card does perform well, so we aren't saying not to buy it or anything, just brace yourself for disappointment if you're a hardcore copper backplates for their GPU cooling abilities nerd, I guess, if that exists. Thanks for watching, guys. If this video sucked, you know what to do, but if it was awesome, get subscribed, hit the like button, and consider going down below to click on links to buy stuff or buying a shirt, which is the same as buying stuff, but the stuff could reference graphics cards that you saw in this video, so that's slightly more specific than what I said right before that. Also, watch this video, which is our video on my personal rig. There we go. That video's not up yet, but theoretically, considering it's like almost done editing, it will go up before this goes up. So, hopefully that works out. See you next time.
You have been slain.
Server racks. They're kind of like Noctua fans or construction equipment in that the only people they're winning any style points with are the folks who have this like deep appreciation for utility. That's the way it's always been. And that's the way that it looked like it was going to be forever. Until now. Claytech, a division of iStar USA, with whom we've worked in the past on our surveillance server, our pfSense router that we DIY'd over a span of months, as well as our offsite backup server, has actually designed and manufactured a piece of what they're calling IT furniture. The WRT Retro Style Rack. So let's have a look and see what one of those is. Zotac's GTX 1080 Mini is extremely compact and powerful, measuring just 8.3 inches in length. Check it out at the link in the video description. I actually have no idea how much these things cost. I have no idea how many of them have been made. They are listed as build to order on the Claytech site, but what I do know is that, like, for a company whose experience is mostly in building black, nondescript boxes, the craftsmanship is looking not bad. All right, Brandon, you win your battle. Looks like we're taking this tablecloth off. Fine. Very well packed, that's for sure. So they've actually got a bunch of different models available. Everything from a very, very small, very shallow cabinet, all the way to one that's actually quite a bit larger and deeper than this one. So I went for a 9U, 450 millimeters, so that's 45 centimeter deep cabinet. So obviously, something like this wouldn't be suitable for mounting, you know, like a really long storage server or anything like that. But if you're looking for a super cool place to put some AV equipment or, you know, some network switches or, you know, a very, very small machine, this is looking pretty good. So I've clearly got it upside down. Okay, so the craftsmanship is not perfect. You know, Steve Jobs, you know, cable managed the inside of, you know, laptops and phones. Probably wouldn't be that impressed with the wood trim not meeting up here, and with these kinda unimpressive plastic feet. But let's go ahead and turn it over and see what the top's like. Maybe it makes up for it in the parts that you actually see. So much like a sort of retro style trunk or case, you've got actually leather. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where if you're gonna go R-word, you might as well go full R-word. So the handles on the sides, the corner protectors here and here are all genuine leather. Now, let's put some gear in it, shall we? About a half an hour till WAN show, so I'm thinking, let's put all of our audio equipment in it. What could go wrong? Focusrite just set us up with this stuff, and this is exactly the kind of thing that I would expect someone to put in a piece of, you know, rack equipment like this. Remember, kids, always take a picture of the back before disassembling something that you don't know how to put back together. Shoop. Shoop.
Let's give it a spin.
Shoop.
Really move.
It's M5 threaded rather than having like what you'd see in a full-size cabinet with the inserts on the back and the much heavier threading. So I really wouldn't recommend mounting anything super heavy in here, but man, once you get some actual gear in here, I don't know what it is about the aesthetic of like audio equipment and this retro kind of charm that we got going on here, but I think this thing looks really cool. Actually, I had a thought. I've got this chassis sitting around from, actually, it's an iStar USA chassis that I was supposed to do a project with and never got around to it. And it looks like, no, that was a bit of an oversight when it comes to the design of this thing. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So if they had thought of it, they could have made it so that the bottom holes lined up perfectly for something to sit right on the bottom, but as it is, you would actually have to support it off of these screws, which I don't think would be recommended. However, if you did just want to like ghetto mount it, then you could throw some kind of a storage machine or some kind of a processing machine down here in the bottom. No big deal. Okay, I got a couple more things. I got a network switch and our old iSCSI box here just to fill it up. Have a look at what that's gonna look like. And yeah, see this one, this network switch is pretty heavy. In you go. Oh, whatever. Yeah, that Linus guy. What does he know about rack mounting things?
Soon they shall pass.
That looks so cool. I love it. It's like freaking amazing. It's like, on the one side, it's like old-fashioned and retro, and the other side, it's like, oh my goodness, look at all these dials and buttons. But now, the final benchmark, those leather handles. How do they hold up to it actually being loaded? Oh, okay, hold on. You know what? I'm going heavy side. Heavy side on my side. Okay, hold on. Have you ever thought to yourself, what would it be like if I wanted to talk to my, mobile carrier and I called them up and just got hooked through directly to someone who's ready to talk to me? Well, then you probably use Ting, because that's exactly what happens. Ting is all about customer satisfaction first. You call in, you talk to a person, and you pay for only what you use, with the average Ting bill being only $23 a month. They've got lower mobile data rates across the board, just $10 per gig beyond the first gig, and they'll cover 25% of your cancellation fee from your existing plan, up to $75. Pretty cool. So head over to linus.ting.com and try out their savings calculator to see if you'll save by switching to Ting. Then, when you use our link, you can get $25 towards a new device or in service credit. Woo, linus.ting.com. Do not even lift. Oh, okay, so the handles are holding up fine, but I don't think I can move it on my own anymore. So thank you for checking out today's episode of Holy shit, the most retroist server cabinet ever. Don't forget to dislike this video if you disliked it, but hit that like button and get subscribed if you like it. Also, check out the link to where to buy the stuff we featured in the video description if you really liked it. And we've got other links down there as well, to our community forum and our merch store where you can buy cool shirts and other stuff like this. Now that you're done doing all that stuff, you're probably wondering what to watch next, so maybe check out right there our latest video over on Channel Superfun. Give me a hand with this thing.
Hey, what happened to your killing spree? All right, it's over.
So on today.
Here we go. Let's get you
What's up,
healed
everybody? Jay's 2 cents, and welcome to my Ask Jay series, which I do once like every 6 months. But it's kind of fun Kind of gives me an idea of the things that you're interested in, and it kind of gives me a chance to break away from the norm PC videos where I can talk about anything that you guys are asking about. So these questions that you're seeing today are directly from Twitter, so make sure you guys are following over there if you guys want to kind of get in on the next one. Anyway, moving on now, we've got a question here from Methanol Man. I'm gonna probably mutilate your guys' screen names. I'm really bad at names, I don't know why. I forget my own sometimes. He said, did you ever use pay to promote your videos? That's something I'm actually very proud of. Everything you see on this channel, I've built. I didn't pay to promote, I didn't pay for followers, I didn't pay for views, or even use Google's built-in pay to promote feature. I've never done that. I never felt like it was a smart move to dump money into either botted or just non-organic views. I want the people who see my stuff to have kind of stumbled their way here on their own, and if they like it, stick around. That's just the way I operate. This is a good one here, considering the size of the channel now. Tim on Twitter asks, do you ever have any viewers come up to you or your family when you're out and about? If so, does it ever become an annoyance? To be honest, I'm recognized all the time now. In the beginning, never, obviously, when the channel was small. Then when the channel started to reach a few 100,000 subs, every now and then, maybe once every couple of months, I might get recognized. Now I'm recognized almost every time I go out somewhere, especially if I go anywhere near where there's tech or PC stuff. Even out at the track this last Sunday, I was out at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, and I was recognized twice while I was there, which was pretty interesting, especially since I got to run in the same run group as some of those guys. So not only were they like, wow, it's Jay's 2 cents, wow, it's Nizzy, wow, I get to race Nizzy. It was a really fun experience. Derek Gott asked, how scary was it to quit your full-time job and become reliant on YouTube for majority of income? It's been almost a year since I did it's been a year since I quit my job thing. So we're almost 2 years into full-time self-employment, and I have to say that I wouldn't change anything. It was a risk. It's absolutely a risk to put all of my eggs into a platform that's not mine. For instance, YouTube is not mine. YouTube can change anything. Google could change anything. Anything can happen. Any controversy, any crazy change in dynamic could affect all of us. But you know what? I wouldn't change it. It's scary, obviously, to be your own boss, because any decision you make could affect your future. But I'm still of the mindset that working for someone else doesn't equal security, and it doesn't make you that much safer, because you're still at the mercy of that business. So why not at least try it for myself? It's working out pretty well so far. Got no complaints, but who knows what the future holds. At least I feel like I'm somewhat in control of it. Now this question from Corey Williams kind of ties into the last one, so I think it's a good segue. He says, is it hard to balance the demand of the channel with family life? How do you unwind after a stressful project? Yes, it is absolutely difficult to balance my professional and family time. There's that saying out there that entrepreneurship is the job you spend 80 hours a week so that you avoid working 40 hours a week for somebody else. I'm just putting in all the time today, hoping that I can maybe have an early retirement and have a comfortable life later on. But I do the best I can to make sure I balance family time. I take my daughter to her taekwondo classes multiple times per week. I do everything I can to try to be a good family man, and I fail and I fuck up a lot. Like I just messed up right now. If you're a family man watching this with your kids, I apologize for that F-bomb. The FCC doesn't really regulate this yet. And like I said, that whole blunt and forward thing, anyway, I digress. I mess up all the time, and trust me when my family lets me know that I mess up, but I'm doing the best I can, which is why the hiring of Nick was a huge thing, because it's allowing me to start the process of delegating. And that will free up some time, at least my naive mind thinks that it will free up time, but I'm working on it. Mirko Blitz asks, as a USA foreigner, I'd like to know, what is your opinion on Trump, and does his politics scare you? Oh boy.